the end of Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I'm reading this book about World War One. It's basically about Lenin, Vladimir Lenin, and Woodrow Wilson, but it gives you a lot of context as to what was going on in 1917 during World War One. And one of the things that sticks out to me is nothing is inevitable. Like, we look back on history now, and because it's already played out, everything seems like it was inevitable. But nothing was inevitable. It was all fucking chaos. No one had any idea what the fuck was going on. It was loss after loss after loss for the Allies. The Germans were getting slaughtered. Everyone was fucking up in arms. But you look back and you're like, oh yeah, we fucking smashed the Germans. But that wasn't quite what happened. And that's not quite what happened in World War II either. Like, everyone is in panic. There's deals being done. There's fucking cunts being sold out. I mean, the British promised Palestine to France, the Arabs, and the Jews. They're just like, help us out and we'll give it to you. They probably promised it to the fucking Egyptians and the Japanese and fucking everyone else too. But it's not like that, and it's not like that now. Shit is not inevitable now. It seems like it is because that's part of, like, the psyop almost. Like, you have no power. The people in control know what they're doing. They have no fucking idea what's going on. They know on the surface what they're doing. They know surface level what they're doing, but they have no idea the consequences of their actions. Like, you read this book and little things change the whole complexion of everything. Like World War One, for example, the revolution in Russia, the taking down of the Tsar. The Tsar dragged Russia into World War One, and he was willing to fight that war till the end. He gets replaced. Fucking Kerensky comes in, the democratic government. He continues fighting, but then they get overthrown by Lenin and Trotsky. And Lenin and Trotsky negotiate a fucking peace deal with Germany, changes the whole fucking thing. Then the US come in, all that sort of shit. But just small little things like that. Small little things like the Russian Revolution. Anyway, you watch what's going on at the moment, and it's very fucking interesting because you look at what happened with Zelensky and Trump the other day, and it's a clear departure from what has gone before, especially with Biden. Trump more or less shifted towards Russia. And that's interesting in itself because the US has not been aligned with Russia since World War II. And even then it was like Stalin and fucking Franklin Roosevelt. But with the shift, with the apparent shift away from Ukraine, that changes the whole complexion of that war. Now it goes from a proxy war between Russia and the US, fought with US money, fought with US ammunition and weapons by the Ukrainian people. So the Ukrainian people are getting fucked both ways. But once the US backs out of that, which it apparently has, then it goes from a fucking war, a proxy war between two superpowers, to an absolute annihilation of the people of Ukraine by a mega superpower, especially if Zelensky doesn't want to fucking negotiate a peace deal. If he continues fighting, then he may just lose all of Ukraine. But that's not even the interesting thing either. The interesting thing happened yesterday, I think it was, when Zelensky went to Europe and met up with that cuck Starmer in the UK. And Starmer fucking guaranteed Ukraine £3 billion or something of British money for the Ukraine war effort, which is insane when you see what's going on in England. I haven't heard any good reports. Apparently the healthcare system there has fallen apart. Welfare's fallen apart. Everything's falling apart. but £4 billion for Ukraine war to continue a war. That's handy. But anyway, that's almost the first time in my living memory, anyway, that the US and UK and Europe, the US and Europe have decoupled. So the alliance, it's still there, obviously. Nothing has been written or said. But the status quo is when the US says something, Europe follow like the cucks they have been for the last 50 to 80 years. And that seems to have not completely disintegrated, but something's going on there. So now it looks like US are pulling away from Ukraine completely, which has implications for NATO as well. But now the European Union and Europe are in the in the driver's seat, or the fucking in charge of the Ukraine situation. And Europe finds Russia to be much more of an existential threat than the US does, because they're right on their border, and fucking the UK does not seem to want to stop this slaughter at all. So, like, if you just extrapolate from there, they even said they're going to have fucking boots on the ground there, which is just insane. That's insanity. The whole fucking time this has been going on, Vlad has been like, if there's boots on the ground, like, it's war. Europe is not in a position to fight a war against Russia, not an aggressive war against Russia. And that seems to be the path this is all leading to. And it's all smelling and rhyming a lot like fucking World War I and II. Because if Europe do become an aggressor against fucking Russia, then it's going to get fucking messy. And I don't know if the US are going to come in and back them up if it fucking spirals out of control after, well, Donald Trump said he wants no part of it. It's hard to get a read on exactly what's happening, but there has definitely been a seismic shift in everything at the moment. Even Sergei Lavrov, the Minister of Foreign Affairs for Russia, came out, I think it was yesterday, and said Europe's the problem, not the US. He's been saying the US for the last fucking 22 years. But yesterday he came out and said every significant war in the last 200 years has been caused by Europe, which is quite the departure from previous rhetoric. So we just got to monitor this situation here. I've heard Trump's plan is to draw Russia away from China, but literally no country on earth trusts the USA anymore, so they can do whatever they want, and that won't be happening. You think Putin's going to be like, yeah, fuck China, I'm with the US now? There's no fucking way. Everyone anticipates the US fuck over now, except for Ukraine, obviously. Maybe there's one coming to Israel as well, but Israel seems to be in full control of the US fucking government. It's fucking wild. Anyway, that's my fucking 2 cents. That'll do for tonight, and I'll see you the fuck later.